Welcome, everyone, to the Quantum Thread. Today, we're diving into something that honestly keeps a lot of us up at night. Who actually owns our data? You know, with all the news about breaches and privacy concerns, it feels like our digital lives are constantly teetering on the edge. Paul, Tom, have you ever felt that unsettling feeling of not truly owning your online information?
Oh, absolutely, Susan. It's like we're just renting our data from big tech companies, isn't it? Every time I click agree on some terms and conditions, I'm essentially signing away pieces of my digital self, and I don't even really know where it all goes or what happens to it. It's a huge black box, and it's kind of terrifying when you think about it. For businesses, it must be an even bigger nightmare.
You've both hit the nail on the head. That sense of losing control, whether you're an individual trying to protect family photos or a business safeguarding sensitive intellectual property, is a pervasive modern problem. And that's precisely where Vogon Cloud comes into play. We've been reviewing Vogon.com's website, and it effectively addresses the fundamental need for data sovereignty and security, applicable to both personal and business use.
Data sovereignty. That's a big term, Paul. Can you break down what it really means in the context of Vogon? Because for me, personally, it sounds like reclaiming my digital life, but I want to understand the specifics.
Absolutely, Susan. Data sovereignty, at its core, means that you, as the individual or the organization, have absolute control and ownership over your data. It's not sitting on some server farm owned by a third party who can access it, monetize it, or be compelled by governments to hand it over. With Vogon, your data remains yours, always encrypted, and only accessible by you. It's about ensuring your data is governed by the laws and regulations you choose, rather than whoever happens to host it.
So it's not like my data is just sitting in Google Drive or Dropbox where they could, theoretically, scan it or hand it over if subpoenaed. That's a huge distinction. I mean, I trust those services for convenience, but the trust part is always a bit shaky, isn't it? Especially when you hear about governments requesting data.
Precisely, Susan. With conventional cloud services, you're essentially entrusting a third party with your information. Vogon flips that model entirely. They're not storing your data themselves in a centralized way. Instead, they provide the invisible infrastructure, as they call it, for you to maintain full control. Your data is encrypted at the source, and only you hold the keys. This means even Vogon themselves cannot access your information, let alone any other entity.
That's a huge paradigm shift. So for personal users, it means I can truly store my sensitive documents, my personal photos, my communications, knowing that nobody else, not even the platform provider, can peek at them. That's incredibly powerful, especially in an age where everything feels so exposed.
Exactly. Think about your most private information: medical records, financial documents, family photos, personal journals. With Vogon, you can store these with peace of mind. It's not just about compliance for businesses, it's about fundamental human privacy for individuals. It's like having your own digital vault that only you possess the combination to, and that combination is never stored anywhere else but with you.
Okay, so personal use makes a lot of sense, but for businesses, this sovereignty aspect feels even more critical. I can imagine companies constantly wrestling with compliance, especially with regulations like GDPR or HIPAA. How does Vogon specifically help businesses navigate that minefield?
For businesses, the benefits are immense. Compliance is a massive driver. With GDPR, for example, businesses are accountable for protecting user data, and if that data is stored with a third-party provider who then has a breach, the business is still liable. By using Vogon, businesses can ensure that their customer data, intellectual property, and internal communications are under their direct control, encrypted end-to-end, and meet the highest standards of data protection. This significantly reduces their risk profile and helps them prove compliance.
So it's not just about avoiding fines, it's about building trust with their clients too. If a company can confidently say, your data is truly safe with us because we use a sovereign cloud solution like Vogon, that's a huge competitive advantage, right?
Absolutely, Susan. In today's landscape, trust is a commodity. Companies that prioritize data privacy and security will stand out. Vogon offers them the architecture to not just say they value privacy, but to actually deliver it, demonstrably. It helps protect sensitive customer information, trade secrets, R&D data, ensuring that critical business intelligence remains solely within the organization's purview.
That makes sense. So we've talked about sovereignty. Let's dig into the security aspect a bit more. The website mentions Quantum Bridge and advanced security. That sounds pretty futuristic. What exactly does that entail beyond just regular encryption?
Great question, Tom. When we talk about security, Vogon goes above and beyond standard practices. They employ multi-layered end-to-end encryption. This means your data is encrypted when it leaves your device, in transit and at rest, and only you can decrypt it. However, the quantum bridge takes it to an entirely new level. It addresses a looming threat, quantum computing.
Quantum computing? Oh, wow. I've been learning about that. Is it like the super fast computers that could break all our current encryption?
Exactly, Susan. While full-scale quantum computers capable of breaking today's strongest encryption aren't widespread yet, they're on the horizon. The moment that happens, all current encryption methods, the ones protecting our banks, our governments, our personal data, could become vulnerable. The quantum bridge refers to Vogon's proactive development and implementation of post-quantum cryptography. They're building in future-proof security measures now to ensure that even when quantum computers become a reality, your data remains secure.
That's genuinely mind-blowing. Most companies are probably just focused on current threats, but Vogon is looking years, maybe even decades down the line. It's like building an armored car that's also designed to withstand a meteor shower. It's not just about reactive security, but truly predictive and resilient defense. So how does that translate into tangible benefits for a typical user or a small business?
For a typical user, it means unparalleled peace of mind. Imagine storing your entire digital life, every photo, every document, every email, knowing that it's protected not just from today's hackers, but from the advanced threats of tomorrow. You're not just secure, you're quantum secure. For businesses, it's a massive competitive edge and a critical risk mitigation strategy. They can ensure long-term data integrity and confidentiality for their most valuable assets, from trade secrets to customer databases, without having to overhaul their entire security infrastructure later down the line.
So Vogon isn't just selling a cloud service. They're essentially selling future-proof data confidence. That's a powerful message. But let's talk about the how. The website talks about an invisible infrastructure. What does that actually mean? Is my data floating around somewhere, or is it on my own devices?
That's a key part of the sovereignty model. Unlike traditional cloud services that rely on massive, centralized data centers, Vogon's infrastructure is distributed. Your data isn't sitting in one big, vulnerable honeypot. It can reside on your own devices, on trusted nodes you control, or on secure, decentralized storage. The invisible part refers to the fact that you're not interacting with a visible, central server infrastructure. Instead, Vogon provides the secure, encrypted bridge, that quantum bridge we just discussed, for your data to move and reside securely, always under your command.
So, if I'm understanding this, it's not a service where I upload my data to Vogon's servers. It's more like Vogon provides the tools and the framework for me to keep my data wherever I choose, but with their security and sovereignty layers applied. That's incredibly innovative. It really pushes the boundaries of what cloud storage can be.
You've got it, Tom. It's about empowering the user, giving them the framework to establish true data self-sovereignty. It's a shift from renting storage to owning your data infrastructure, even if you don't physically own all the hardware. Vogon manages the complex cryptographic and distributed network elements, so you get the benefits of advanced security and accessibility without needing to be an expert in cybersecurity.
That's fantastic. So let's circle back to specific use cases, starting with personal. What kinds of things would you recommend an individual user leverage Vogon for, beyond just secure photo storage, I mean?
Beyond photos, think about all your digital records, tax documents, wills, birth certificates, insurance policies, medical records. These are highly sensitive and, if compromised, can lead to identity theft or major headaches. Vogon provides a secure vault for these. Then there's communication. Imagine secure email and messaging where you know for certain that your conversations are private, end-to-end encrypted, and not being scanned by anyone. It extends to managing your digital identity, ensuring your personal information isn't exposed through various online services.
I can definitely see myself using it for password management too. Storing all those complex passwords and sensitive login details in a place that's not just secure but quantum secure would be a huge relief. And what about managing files for collaborative projects, even personal ones, without worrying about accidental sharing or data leakage?
That's a great point, Tom. And for businesses, Paul, let's get even more specific. We touched on compliance and IP. Are there other business scenarios where Vogon truly shines?
Absolutely. Consider secure collaboration across different departments or even with external partners, where maintaining strict control over who sees what is paramount. Or in sectors like finance and healthcare, where regulatory scrutiny is intense, Vogon offers an unparalleled level of data protection. Supply chain data integrity is another huge one, ensuring the authenticity and privacy of data exchanged between multiple parties in a complex supply chain. And critically, resilience against data breaches. If a company's data is sovereign and quantum secure, the impact of a breach, should one occur on other systems, is drastically minimized because the core data remains inaccessible.
So it's not just a shield, it's also a recovery plan. If other parts of your infrastructure get compromised, your core, critical data is still locked down. That's a huge selling point for any CISO or IT director, I'd imagine. It's building a fortress around your crown jewels, basically.
Precisely. It significantly strengthens an organization's overall security posture and operational resilience. It's about proactive defense, not just reactive damage control. And it fosters innovation because businesses can experiment and develop new data-intensive applications, knowing that the underlying data infrastructure is fundamentally secure and respects privacy by design.
This all sounds incredibly powerful, but sometimes powerful solutions can be complex or intimidating for the average user or even a small business without a huge IT department. Is Vogon accessible, or does it require a lot of technical know-how to implement?
That's a very valid concern, Susan. The beauty of Vogon is that while the underlying technology is incredibly sophisticated, dealing with cryptography, distributed networks, quantum readiness, the user experience is designed to be intuitive and straightforward. They abstract away the complexity. Their goal is to make true data sovereignty and quantum security accessible to everyone, from individuals to large enterprises, without requiring them to become cybersecurity experts. It's about providing the powerful tools in an easy-to-use package.
That's a relief to hear. Because if it's too complicated, people will just revert to less secure but more convenient options, right? The easier it is to use, the more widespread adoption it will see. And I think widespread adoption of solutions like Vogon is what we really need for a more secure digital future for everyone.
I couldn't agree more, Tom. So, Paul, for anyone listening who's now thinking, okay, I need this. I need to take back control of my data, personally or for my business. What's the next step? Where can they go to learn more?
The best place to start is their portal. You can visit Vogon.cloud. Their About section and other resources there offer a deeper dive into their philosophy and how their technology works. You can explore the different solutions they offer for both personal and business use cases and see how Vogon can truly empower you to achieve unparalleled data sovereignty and quantum security. It's really about taking that first step towards a more secure and controlled digital life.
I'm genuinely impressed. It's not just a product, it's a statement about our digital rights. The idea of truly owning your data, protected by future-proof encryption, feels like a breath of fresh air in a world that often feels suffocatingly invasive. I'm definitely going to be checking out Vogon.cloud myself.
Me too, Tom. This conversation has really opened my eyes to the possibilities. It's clear that Vogon isn't just offering a service, they're offering a new standard for how we interact with our digital information. Thank you, Paul, for breaking it all down for us, and thank you, Tom, for your insightful questions. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We encourage you to visit Vogon.cloud and explore how you can take back control of your data. Until next time, stay secure.